Let me ask you a simple question. Do you remember what it felt like to call a friend's house on a landline, praying their parents wouldn't pick up? Now answer this. Do you currently have the latest iPhone in your pocket and manage your entire life through the cloud? If you answered yes to both, you are not a Gen Xer, and you sure as hell aren't a millennial. You are a glitch in the matrix. You are a Xennial. And if you spent your whole life feeling like a cultural imposter, too cynical for the participation trophy crowd, but too optimistic for the grunge-loving nihilists, listen up. The problem isn't that you don't fit in. The problem is that your brain is running a hybrid engine in a world that only understands electric or diesel. You are living with constant cognitive dissonance, and it is draining your mental battery. Let me fix that. Here is the reality. If you were born between 1976 and 1985, you are part of a micro-generation that sociologists call cuspers. You are living on the edge. You don't have a stable core identity because you were built on a fault line. Think about it. Gen X grew up being told the government lies and nuclear winter is coming. Millennials grew up being told they are special and can change the world with a hashtag. You got the worst and the best of both. You understand the joke, but you aren't part of the punchline. This isn't just nostalgia talking. This is hard sociology. Dan Woodman from the University of Melbourne cracked the code on this. He argues that this isn't just about what cartoons you watched. It's about your temporal experience. Your brain formed its most critical neural pathways between ages 18 and 25, right when the world switched from analog to digital. You are a biological bridge. You are the last human beings to go through puberty without a smartphone recording your every mistake. Pew Research Center backs this up with data on social surveillance. You learned to socialize in the dark. You went on blind dates that were actually blind. You navigated cities using paper maps and memory. This gave you a specific type of neuroplasticity that the younger generation simply does not have. You have the cassette and pencil skill set. If the internet crashes tomorrow, the Zoomers are helpless. The Boomers are calling tech support. But you just switch back to analog mode. You are the only ones who can survive in both worlds. But here is where the pain comes from. It's called delayed disillusionment. See, unlike Gen X, your childhood wasn't filled with fear. It was the 90s. The economy was booming, the Berlin Wall fell, and we thought history was over. You were promised a safe, prosperous future. And then the towers fell on 9/11. The 2008 crash destroyed the housing market. For a millennial, the world was always scary. For you, the world became scary right when you became an adult. Your optimism didn't just fade, it was snapped in half. This creates a deep-seated friction in your psyche. You remember a safe world that no longer exists, and you are grieving it every single day. So, what do? How do we stop this feeling of being an alien in your own timeline? We look at the framework laid out by Strauss and Howe in their generational theory. They put you right at the intersection of the reactive and the civic. That means you have the pragmatism to get things done, but the heart to care about the team. Here are 2 protocols to fix your mindset. Protocol 1, own the bridge. Stop feeling like an imposter because you aren't young enough for TikTok trends or hard enough for the old god. That is not a bug. It is your primary feature. You are a translator. You are the only person in the room who can explain a meme to the board of directors and explain corporate strategy to the intern. That is a superpower. Leverage it. Stop trying to pick a side. You are the connection. Protocol 2, the analog reset. Your dopamine receptors are fried because you're trying to keep up with digital natives. But remember, you know what real silence sounds like. You remember weekends without notifications. Use that. Implement analog weekends. This isn't a detox, it's a return to your factory settings. Your brain knows how to function without the noise. Let it. Look, the skeptics, and there are plenty, like Louis Menand writing for The New Yorker, will tell you this is all just generalization bias. They'll say a 3-year birth window doesn't make you special, but they're missing the point. You are an immigrant from a country that doesn't exist anymore, the analog 90s. You have successfully assimilated into the digital world, but you will always have an accent, and that is okay. You have the grit of the Oregon Trail generation. You survived the dysentery, you forded the river, and you made it to the other side. So stop apologizing for not fitting in. The machine isn't broken. You're just the only one who knows how to operate the gears and write the code. If you want to keep your engine running smooth in a world that's overheating, hit that subscribe button. Captain Mindset, out.